Now, for most grown-ups, playing with dolls is a distant memory, but not for our next guest this morning. This is Jade Smith, and dressing as a doll is an important part of helping her forget and live with the pain that she suffers from fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Fibromyalgia. But it costs her quite a lot of money, but she thinks it's all worth it. Good morning. Tell us what fibromyalgia is and why it causes you so much pain.
It's basically like arthritis, but it affects all my joints, all my muscles, pretty much everything in my body. It causes fatigue, insomnia. I get really severe migraines as well.
And how long have you had it, Jade?
I've had it since I was 5 years old.
Oh, that's a long
bad
time.
news, bad news, awful thing. And your escape is through dressing as a doll. And what are your, when did this start? When did you first have this affinity and this desire to do this?
I first started dressing like this when I was 11 years old. I discovered it at an anime convention when I went to cosplay, and from then on I just decided that I wanted to be a doll.
Well, stand up and give us a twirl here, and we'll just see. Look at this. And what is this particular outfit that you've got on here?
This is my sugary carnival dress, and I've got some tea party shoes on, white knee-high socks, and I've of course got my wig and my pearl tiara.
And we can see behind you a great rail of clothes there. It's an amazing kind of dressing up box. These look expensive, Jade. Where do you get them? Do they have to be made for you?
Some are specially made, others are imported from Japan and Korea. Some I've actually designed myself, like this Cinderella one, and that long dress over there, I hand drew all the design and screen printed it myself.
So there's a real community out there for this, is there?
Yeah, there's quite a few people who join up and meet up every now and then who will dress like me.
So how often do you dress like this? Is this something when you go to a convention, or are you doing this every day?
I'm doing it pretty much every day when I'm not working, when I've got a spare minute, or like when I'm going out to see friends.
And how, when you say it helps you, how does it help you? How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy, and it helps distract me from the fact that I'm in pain all the time, because for just a few minutes people are smiling at me and I can feel like they're happy.
Yeah, what is your reaction when you go out?
Jade, I can see what you've just described there. I can see, because you come alive when we talk about your subject and what you're into. And I actually knew this from my own pain, which I've suffered over the past few years. When you get a distraction, when there's something that takes you over, in my case, football or something, and you forget for 10 minutes, and then suddenly you realise, oh, that pain's still there. But it is an amazing relief, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good relief because there's no cure for fibromyalgia, and most pain medications don't work for it. I'm taking quite a few medications right now to try, but my only hope is that they find a cure eventually.
Mm-hmm. And what about, because you've got a collection of dolls yourself, haven't you?
Yes,
I do. What kind of dolls do you collect, and how many have you got?
I collect porcelain dolls, bisque dolls, ball-jointed dolls, and quite a few Disney-related dolls as well.
So do you base your look? So do you take maybe one of those dolls and go, I'm going to look like that doll today, or I want to look like this one?
Some of my dolls I do. They've all pretty much got blue eyes and blonde hair, which is pretty much what I aim for.
How much money do you think you've spent over the years on all these things?
About £20,000. I've spent like £8,000 on shoes because I've got over 40 pairs.
Yeah, but this is a collection. This is probably a collection you could trade if you want to. And you know, when you mention dolls, the most famous doll that springs to mind are Barbie doll, Ken doll. Are these, do they have an influence on your life, or is it more specialist than that?
I do collect Barbies, and I love more the vintage Barbies than the modern Barbies because they go more with my look, and they're often paler skin and more blue eyes and blonde hair.
Because you live with your families, your parents still, don't you? Yeah. So what do they make of this? Are they happy for you to be doing this in their house with this huge collection that's getting bigger and bigger?
They kind of have accepted it now, but they still wish that I would cut down on my collection and possibly get a smaller wardrobe.
Yeah. How much time do you spend as Jade the doll and Jade the person? I mean, how much of your day is spent dressed as a doll?
I think about 50-50. Most of the time it's pretty much just myself. But with the getting ready and everything, it takes me so long, so I spend more time as me, the person, than
we're seeing
the
you
doll.
there walking about. What reaction do you get when you go out shopping?
People take photos with me and they say nice comments, and some shout mean comments at me, but I get used to it after a while.
Rise above that. More nice than mean.
Yeah,
People are more
definitely.
interested.
Yeah.
And how long does it take you to get dressed up like this?
It can take me 4 to 6 hours because of my condition. I struggle putting makeup on and doing buttons up, and even tying bows really hurts. And even putting my shoes on, I can't do buckles that well. I have to have pop-on shoes.
But you do your makeup very well.
Thank you.
And you're happy today. We can see you're happy today.
Yeah.